Hi everybody, so here is what the 70-38 is going to look like. And so you should know by now that you always begin your memos by pressing enter 5 times at the top. Here I have memo 2 and the colon, which is in all caps, bolded. And then I just press tab to type in all employees. We double space, so I press enter twice after each of the headings. So after employees, I press enter twice. That's going to bring me to the from. Make sure that you do press your tab key so that you are tabbed in order to make Frank Reynolds aligned with all employees. Same thing for date. You're going to press your tab key twice so that February is aligned with Frank and all. And as for subject, after you bold and turn on your caps for that, just make sure that you only press tab 1 time. So here you only need to press tab once so that the word new is aligned. So just like how I mentioned before, make sure that you do double space before and after your table. So you should see one paragraph mark above the table and one directly below it. Also, as for your tables, make sure that you do change the title to 14-point bold. Press enter once. Notice that it is centered. As for your column headings in your table, notice that they're 12-point, bold, and centered. And the data here is all left aligned. Also, it is centered horizontally within the page, and I did turn on my auto-fit contents. And the last thing that you should note is that although you won't be able to see it, when you select description and specifications to edit it, make sure that you do choose the align bottom center so that it is properly bottom aligned. Because this is a memo report, and memo reports are generally longer than regular memos, they're also formatted like reports. So here we can see that our side headings are bolded and 12-point font, as well as capitalized. If you have any issues with the email address freynolds@infotech.com not coming up as a hyperlink, don't worry about that. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the scores for that later on, and it just deals with different versions of Word. Also, some of you might run into issues about GDP saying that these aren't 12-point, so just be careful, make sure that these are all in 12-point. And then let's see what happens when we submit this. One more thing before I do submit this, we are going to need to insert a page number because this is a multi-page memo. So I'll go up to my Insert tab. In my header and footer group, I'll click Page Number, Top of Page, and Plain Number 3, and I'll also select Different First Page. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this, and then let's upload this into GDP and see the feedback. And so as I mentioned, you might run into an issue with the email address not properly being hyperlinked. That's fine. I won't mark you as incorrect. Also, if you get this error that says the email address is a hyperlink, but it's not, don't worry about that. And then also, for some reason, different versions of Word get this error when you submit it in GDP. So don't worry if you did change your font size to 12, but it says that it doesn't have the 12-point font size. I'm not going to mark you as incorrect if you have any of these 4 errors. So if it says mail to freynolds@infotech.com and thinks it's incorrect, or if it says that the email address is not a hyperlink, or it has any of these 2, I won't mark you as incorrect. Okay, so that was it for 70-38. And next I'm going to go over the 70-40 memo report. So of course I'm going to begin by pressing enter 5 times at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then in all caps I'll type out memo 2, tab, and all employees. I'm going to double space, so enter from : I'll press tab twice and type in Wo-Chul Lee, President. Again, I'm going to double space, date, press tab twice, and then type in March 2nd, 2025, and finally the subject. So now that I have typed out my memo headings, don't forget to bold them, including the colons following each of them. And I'm just going to turn off my paragraph mark show hide so we can see this. And I'm going to begin by typing the first paragraph. And so this is a memo report. So remember that we're going to double space, so enter. And then in bold and all caps, we're going to type in our side heading here. So architecture. And I have to double check my spelling. And landscaping. I'll turn off my bold and take off my caps lock. I'll press enter twice. And then I'm going to go ahead and start typing the rest of this memo report. So I finished typing it. Let's take a look at this. So departmental locations as well as special facilities. Those are the other 2 side headings that need to be bolded and caps locked. Remember that for numbered and bulleted lists, you double space before and after. So when I turn on my paragraph marks, notice that I do have this paragraph mark here before as well as after. And because this is on 2 pages and it is a memo, we do need to insert our automatic page number. So up in my header and footer group on my insert tab, I'll go to page number, top of page, plain number 3, and then select different first page. So once you've proofread this for submission, let's save it and then upload it into GDP. And so as long as you followed the formatting that I went over and you double checked for typos, hopefully you received 0 errors. If GDP did show any errors, make sure to make any corrections, save them, and then re-upload them and submit them into the GDP site.